Well, we start off this January 17th, 2022 at about 66 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what my car says. I checked the weather report and it says it's going to get as low as 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's a drastic difference. There's a big dichotomy between 66 degrees Fahrenheit and 28. So we'll see if, what happens between those, two different drastic weather changes. I did bring my big coat right here. And we'll be headed to the Speedway, drop off some food for friends. So when you're going down North 35, you're going to come across these brown and white Exit 70s Texas Motor Speedway signs. There's about 10 of them. Just past one right there to the right. So like every, 4 or 5 miles, you'll see one and it'll say Exit 70. I guess from people that are traveling from Fort Worth and then headed towards Denton, and they can see where the Speedway is located. There's pretty much construction all the way from Fort Worth to the Texas Motor Speedway to kind of see it. The next sign coming up says Dale Earnhardt Way. If you know anything about Dale Earnhardt, I want to say that Dale Earnhardt was probably a race car driver is what I'm guessing. I have no idea who he is, but there's signs all over the place in this area about him. Something to do with race cars. And there is Buc-ee's. Cheap gas and cheap soda. And snacks too. Alright, so we ran through there. It's not like a mall. They were playing Hungry Like a Wolf in the 1980s. I feel like the 1980s was really taking off. I got some of these Heat peanuts right here. The top of my car is pretty dusty. So this one's designed by Momentum, Grand Design RV. You see a lot of these out here by the Speedway. Momentum Grand Design being pulled by a 4x4 powered Super Duty vehicle. And there is the Speedway. There's another one over here. Usually there's 3 or 4 of them in this parking lot alone. Over the past few months, there's been even more, especially on the road. Another one being pulled by a V6 truck, power duty truck there. Let's get all the exact information. Didn't have a name brand on this one, but it looks like I'm barely gonna have enough room to get through. I just wanted to see the name of it. Oh well, there's a lot of them around here. They're like little RVs being pulled by these hefty trucks that are usually like F-250s and things like that. The boat's called an Element right there. He's pulling it from the lake, which is an odd time really to be out in the lake, but you could probably still do it here in Texas. I mean, it's only 65 degrees. You could probably even go swimming if you wanted to. You might need a bodysuit, but not tonight. Supposedly it's going to get to like 29 tonight. So today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which takes place on the third Monday of January. And that can happen between January 15th through the 21st. And it is a national holiday today, so I just found out today. I know I saw something on the billboard, so I knew it was coming up. So happy MLK Day. And we are near Circle K right now, and there's a bunch of construction right here. So they've been working on this bridge. This is a new bridge that's leading into the Speedway right here. I'm excited to see what it's going to end up being. And there's Circle K, one of my pit stops for gas and food sometimes. So one dream that Martin Luther King Jr. had was he wanted civil rights for all nations. So he wanted everyone to be able to not only coexist together in the same community, but also he wanted us to be able to play together as well. That was one of his dreams. These are pretty good. They're heat peanuts. So this is Shady Oaks, right in the South Lake area. This is very strange though, this little area. Kind of these cows are just kind of right next to the road. Oh hey, what's going on? Yeah, you don't see any other cows around. It's all really like a grazing field for cows. I guess maybe they came from the field around the woods to get some of the good grass or something over in this area. Don't really ever see that in these little neighborhoods like that. Oh, it's ready? Yeah. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it. So it looks like this order is going to go to Colleyville, and if you've been watching the news, there's actually a big event that happened at a synagogue where an English nationalist, or someone that was from England, I believe, went in and began terrorizing the synagogue. I'm still getting names and all this information. They did negotiate with him for quite a bit of time, but unfortunately there was a very tragic ending. I think most of the people in the synagogue did come out okay, other than being terrorized. But we're headed to Colleyville right now to drop this fuzzies off. Congregation Beth Israel is actually off Pleasant Run. So what I learned, it happened a couple days ago, and it was a 12-hour standoff, and all hostages came out safe, and the suspect, or the terrorist, was, I believe, killed by the negotiation SWAT team. And that happened in Colleyville off of Pleasant Run just the other day. So it is kind of a coincidence that I am being sent to Colleyville right now to drop off some fuzzy tacos, and this incident happened, this anti-Semitic incident happened at this congregation, Beth Israel, and it's on Martin Luther King Day, which is today. But it didn't happen on Martin Luther King Day. It happened a couple days ago. But it is a coincidence that I'm actually over this area. I don't know if I'll be able to pass by or if I'll find Pleasant Run, but I think Pleasant Run is up here. I remember seeing it the other day, and I turned on the news, and it kind of caught my eye. It was a big deal. But luckily, no one got hurt other than, of course, the terrorist, who was there for 12 hours. And he did have a weapon, and it did show the weapon in one of the footage. He had a pistol in his hand, and one of the hostages ran out. It did show that on the news. And then at that point, they threw flashbangs, went in and got him. So he was in a temple. He was in a place of peace with a dangerous weapon and trying to make a point. And it's sad and tragic that this has to continue between different religions and things like that, different beliefs. It's sad. Approaching a railroad crossing, okay, but it is sad. On all, terrorism is not anything that should be celebrated or anything. But it did happen. It happened just the other day. So, and I'm very glad that everyone got out okay. that were at least in the temple. Unfortunately, the man was killed, and I was hoping that there could be a peaceful situation. I was hoping that they would be able to talk him down, and 12 hours was all they gave him, which is long. So 12 hours is a very long time. Somewhere in this area, I'm in Colleyville right now, about to drop off the fuzzy tacos. But I was hoping, oh, there's a train. I was hoping that they were going to be able to negotiate with him, and then at least capture him, and they would get more information and stuff like that to prevent it from happening again. Well, I'm in Colleyville now. I won't be able to go by the synagogue. I just got another one that's out in Bedford to pick up another food delivery. But my prayers go out to all those types of situations. I don't know if the man was what nation he represented, but he obviously came off as a terrorist. That's all I know. I don't know his name or anything like that. I'll get that information later. It's brand new. It just now happened. So it happened like, I think the whole thing was solved within the last 2 days or so, or yesterday or so. I have to find out everything. It's brand new. It just now happened. I got to drop this package off. So at the Beth Synagogue terrorist attack, which I believe happened on Saturday, just this past Saturday, his name, I'm going to pronounce his name Malik Faisal Akram. He's a 44-year-old man that went in and took people hostage just the other day in Colleyville. And I'm headed actually to Bedford to pick up another food run. But supposedly the rabbi threw a chair at him and all this stuff happened, and to protect himself because the man was belligerent. The terrorist was belligerent. So they did try to defend themselves the best they could. Authorities were called, and eventually the man, the terrorist that ran in there was he was killed by the SWAT negotiation after about 12-hour standoff. I'm getting information like right now on it because it happened 2 days ago. So I actually found a pretty good article with CNN that's talking about a lot of it. So what I'm finding out is the man snuck in peacefully and it turned violent. So he came in, he said he needed, I guess, some type of shelter or something. So the man the rabbi gave him some hot tea, or someone from the synagogue gave him some hot tea. And then that's when he turned on him. So he came in acting very nice, and then it turned very violent. That was the man Malik, and then I believe his last name is, I'm still trying to recall. I don't know if I can pronounce his name particularly well, so I'm still looking at the spelling and things like that on his name. So I believe his name is Malik Akram, is how you pronounce it, but he is deceased. So they tried to talk to him peacefully. I remember when I first saw it, it looked like it was going to end in a peaceful situation. They tried to talk him down, and it did not work. So they flashbanged, went in, and killed him really quick. Anyway, so luckily, fortunately, no one in the synagogue was harmed badly. Not too badly, I don't think. So from reading the article, it seemed like the rabbi realized the man was becoming more belligerent. So three of them were able to escape during the actual siege. So I think a chair was thrown, and that they used that as kind of a distraction, and then they ran out. There was some training that they had previous. I saw some stuff on that. So some churches and temples are training for these types of situations, just like schools do. And that may have led to a successful escape from the situation. So they were prepared for that. It's sad that we have to do that. Churches and synagogues and things like that have to do that. But that's just part of where we're at today, in society and things like that. So it's amazing that it happens so close to home. Colleyville's not very close. I mean, not very far from where I deliver almost every day. But I'm actually going to Bedford now. And churches, synagogues, temples, they're all aware of how these things happen. There's a horrible case that happened in the South where it didn't turn out so peacefully. This didn't turn out peacefully either. I mean, the man was killed, the terrorist was killed, but there's other situations where it's even worse. So it's good that they were prepared and they were able to get out. That's all I'm going to say on the matter today, and I'm going to Bedford and moving on. I just remembered, you know, I got routed to Colleyville, and I thought about this, and it happened this Saturday, which is actually the synagogue's actually Sabbath is on a Saturday, so pretty sad.